Hello, very good morning and welcome to Athavan newspaper highlights. Today, Friday, 23rd of September 2016. This is Edward Udedas with the highlights of today's English newspapers. As usual, we have three newspapers for the highlights: Daily Mirror, Daily News and Ceylon Today. Firstly, let's have a look on the Daily Mirror. The main headline says, Reconciliation, Social Democracy Based on Local Thinking. President Maithripala Sirisena addressing the 71st session of the United Nations General Assembly, heads of government in New York said yesterday, Sri Lanka intended to move forward building reconciliation and a future towards social democracy based on local thinking to solve its problems. The president said, I am extremely happy to take part in this 71st session of the United Nations General Assembly. I wish to bring to the notice of Your Excellencies the current situation in my country. I have been in power for the past 15 months. There are many problems in my country. We have, in recent months, taken many important steps for socio-economic transformation. Before I came to power, people in my country were living in fear, and I ended that period and made the people free of fear, established rule of law and restored democratic rights. We have taken effective steps to strengthen democracy, rule of law and good governance in our country. We want to create a better country for our people. To achieve this, I need the assistance of the international community. I wish to take this opportunity to express appreciation of the services rendered by outgoing UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. He provided an excellent service to the entire world. I am totally committed to the eradication of drugs. As the president of Brazil said this morning, illicit drugs have become the most serious challenge faced by our societies today. The harm caused to the people, especially the young students, by illicit drugs is very serious. We have to eradicate drugs and ensure that illicit drugs would not reach our countries, said the president. PM optimistic, more Lankan experts will return. A number of Sri Lankan experts, including academics and professionals who left the country, had returned recently, and more experts would hopefully follow them in the near future, said Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe yesterday. Yoshita requests to travel abroad. Court to decide on September 28. The Colombo High Court yesterday fixed September 28 to consider whether Yoshita Rajapaksa could be allowed to travel to Melbourne for medical treatment for his injured knee. New Constitution. Interim report to be presented by November. An interim report on the new Constitution will be presented to the Constitutional Assembly by the Steering Committee before November 2016, parliamentary sources said yesterday. The sources said the Steering Committee would present the interim report as envisaged in the resolution of March 9, 2016, under which the Steering Committee and the Constitutional Assembly were set up. VAT bill in Parliament soon. The Cabinet at its meeting on Tuesday is expected to approve the VAT bill with the inclusion of the amendments proposed by the UNP and the SLFP and tabled in Parliament, Special Assignment Minister Sarath Amunugama said yesterday. Secondly, let's move to Daily News. The main headline says, President tells UNGA no more wars in Sri Lanka. Reconciliation process underway towards lasting peace. Committed to make Lanka a developed nation. Effective measures to strengthen democracy, rule of law, good governance. Calls for robust international program to combat drug menace. Lanka welcomes collaboration and blessing of the world. President Maithripala Sirisena, who attended the banquet hosted by President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama for heads of state attending the 71st UN General Assembly sessions during a reception at the Lotte New York Palace in New York on September 20. My son's car hit a tree, Kehelia. Former Minister Kehelia Rambukwela said the car driven by his son Ramith Rambukwela, arrested on charges of drunk driving yesterday morning, had hit a tree. There was a bachelor's party. He was returning from it. On his way, his vehicle hit a tree at Independence Avenue, the former minister said. There was no damage to anything. No damage to a third party or to public property. His vehicle just hit a tree, he said. Ramith Rambukwela was released on police bail yesterday. This is not the first time the son of the former media and information minister has been in trouble for drinking too much. In June 2013, the then 21-year-old national cricketer tried to open the cabin door on a British Airways flight from St. Lucia to London Gatwick. Duminda files appeal against High Court death sentence. former Defence Ministry monitoring MP Duminda Silva, sentenced to death by the Colombo High Court for committing the murder of 4 persons including former MP Bharat Lakshman Premachandra, yesterday filed an appeal before Colombo High Court's Registrar Office, challenging the judgment of Colombo High Court. This appeal is to be referred to the Supreme Court and the matter to be heard before 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court in the due course. Finally, let's move to Ceylon today. The main headline says People's Bank Digitalization Project. COP orders AG to submit detailed report. The Committee on Public Enterprises yesterday ordered the Auditor General's Department to promptly submit a detailed report on the controversial digitalization project of the People's Bank. COP also requested the PB Board of Directors to hand over to the AG's department all the documents related to the case. The PB Board appeared before COP yesterday and was questioned at length about the entire digitalization process. Bird smugglers nabbed. For the first time in Sri Lanka's history, the customs confiscated a shipment of birds that were to be smuggled out of the country through the Colombo port. 2 Maldivians were arrested on Tuesday by customs while trying to smuggle out 11 parrots, 6 lovebirds and 10 red-vented bulbul concealed in a box. Unfortunately, 10 parrots and 4 lovebirds had died in the box. With that, let's come to an end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to Athavan Newspaper Highlights.